This is the walkthrough video for my 2008 Gulfstream Yellowstone, also referred to as motorhome number 3. I'm going to take you through the outside of it first and work our way onto the inside. If after watching this video you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at is this compartment right here. This is actually not a compartment. It is just a door with a propane connection on it. Quick connect if you want to hook up a barbecue grill or anything else that has a quick connect for the propane system. Right here we have your door catch for the door. That just kind of sits right inside this little T-fitting right here. Right here we have your propane tank. You'll notice that currently right now this one's full and it is only reading at 3/4. That's pretty normal for these propane tanks to do. So when you go get it filled and it only goes up to 3/4, I know that's actually full. And when you check the level inside the camper itself, it'll actually read as full. So don't trust that one too much. This guy here is your furnace outlet. When you have the heater running, there'll be really hot air exhaust coming out of here. So you'll want to make sure that you don't touch this or lean anything against it. With motorhomes in general, you don't want to leave stuff laying up against the motorhome because people go inside of the motorhome when it's leaning up, and then the next thing you know, it's sitting here eating away all the paint. So don't want to lean things up against the motorhomes. This guy here is the hot water heater. It's controlled from the inside, so you don't have to worry about anything here on the outside with that. Again, you'll have hot exhaust coming out of these things, so you don't want to block these vents or put anything over them. We've got your main storage here on this guy here. These little hooks here. They're pretty handy for keeping these doors open. You just got to be careful that people don't grab them and just try to close them because these will snap right off. Inside here we have camping chairs. We've got your freshwater hose. Back here in this blue box we've got leveling blocks to help level the motorhome out. Don't always have a cooler in here. This is just something the next renter requested and I had one, so I let him borrow it. You got your emergency triangles right there. And then on the inside here, you also have a key lock box. And inside this key lock box, I can give you the code once you've filled out the paperwork properly. I'm working on automating these pickups and deliveries, which is why we're doing this video. But you'll get a code for this, and the main door key will be inside here. And the rest of the keys will be inside the motorhome, and I'll show you where those will wind up being. So you can also use that if you have two groups and they want to split up. You can lock a key up in here, and then whoever gets back first will have it. And you know, like I said, it's pretty well hidden. Even if you were to look in here, you wouldn't know where to look for the key box unless I'm showing you. So that's that guy there. All right, on the back side here we have your spare tire. With rentals and insurance, we have to rely on roadside assistance or tow truck companies to come and change out tires. That takes the liability off of the renter, and also gives me financial protection because, you know, if something goes wrong with the installation of the tire, it falls to the company that put it on, not to me and not to you as a renter. So important to remember. This guy here is your freshwater tank. You'd use that garden hose to fill this thing up. Shouldn't call it a garden hose. The white ones are for potable water. I always recommend people don't drink the water from a motorhome. I put good water in here, but I can't attest for what other people put in here. And it's just a good policy in general not to drink water from a tank. So that's this guy here. I believe this one's a 35-gallon tank. You don't want to leave this unattended when you're filling it up because it can overpressurize the tank and cause damage. When you're filling it up, you'll hear it start to gurgle and spit out this little hole right here, and that'll tell you that it's full. And then you just pull the hose out and go shut it off. If you're at a campground that has a hose connection, you can pop this guy off, put the hose inside here, and then turn the pump off inside the camper, which we'll go over when we get inside. And it will use the water from this hose and save this water in the tank for when you're on the road. This right here is your electrical hookup. This one's pretty straightforward. It's got your regular connection right here, and then if you just pull that off, it has the regular 30 amp connection depending on what your campground has available. With this motorhome, you can put that back in there. It doesn't have to be plugged into anything. The generator will automatically switch to run off of the generator if you have it turned on. So that's automatic. You don't have to do anything other than plug it in or put it back. In this compartment here, this is the waste dump station. Lock that compartment open really quick. So, kind of hard to see, but you got one big valve here with this T handle coming out of it right here, and it's currently in the open position. It just pulls straight out and pushes straight in. That is for the black tank. That is everything that goes through your toilet. So that is the first one you want to dump. The second one, once you're done with that, you shove the handle back in to close it like so. That's the closed position. I'm going to leave it open. That shows me that this tank is empty when people come back with it when they're done with their trip. You've got this other smaller one here. This is the gray tank. This is anything that goes through the shower drain or the sink drain. Relatively clean water usually. So we do this last because it'll kind of go through the same hose and it kind of cleans everything out so it's not as gross. So when you are done with your trip, just leave them in the open position. That's a very quick, easy reference to tell me that, hey, these are really empty and we're good to go. The waste hose that you hook up connects down here into this pipe right here. I ain't gonna touch it, but you can see it right there. And it just slips on there and clicks on. You take that and you put it into the sewer outlet, and then you open your valves and take care of your business. If you don't want to do that, and you're able to go through most of your trip without dumping it, I charge $50 to dump people's sewage for them. If you do it at a dump station, it typically runs 10 bucks. Inside here is where you'll find your waste hose. I'm touching this because it's brand new, but without my gloves on. But this is the end that you put on the motorhome, and you click on. And you can see the little lock tabs right there. And this is the end that goes into your sewer outlet. You'll notice that it's threaded in 3 different stages there, and that's because some campgrounds you can actually thread this piece on and leave it connected while you're at the campground. Also have your sewage disposal gloves here. Please try to keep them clean when you're done. Kind of rinse them off so that way they're clean for the next person to use. This here is your regular gas tank. It just uses regular unleaded fuel, nothing special, whatever's cheap. This compartment here is for your refrigerator. Sometimes you'll see some water leaking out of here, and that's totally normal. There's a drip vent that goes through here. You'll also sometimes feel heat coming out of here if it's running on the propane. I know that sounds weird, but these fridges can run on propane. They do so very efficiently, and they do have to vent the heat out this way. This compartment here just has my batteries. You shouldn't have to worry about those. This last compartment here houses the generator. That's all controlled from the inside, so you don't have to worry about that. On the inside of the motorhome here, this particular one has a slide out, so in order for that to work, this parking brake has to be set. The release for that is right above it right here. So it's good to know where that's at. This guy here is a trailer brake controller. Honestly, I shouldn't have that on a rental, but when I bought this motorhome, it had it on there, and sometimes I like to use it, so I leave that on there for towing things. This guy here is your tire pressure monitor system. You can see that you have your front tire your left inner tire and your left outer tire and so forth. You notice that the pressures are all a little different. That's totally normal. You know, it's sitting in the sun on one side and in the shade on another. The inner ones are typically a little lower because they're even shaded even more. And you'll see these fluctuate anywhere from 60 to 80 pounds. That's a pretty large fluctuation, but that's absolutely normal. If you see it go into the 50s, there's probably an issue, and you'd want to top it off by the time they got down to 50. Just to be on the safe side. So there is that. Let's see. There's an emergency start switch here right above the driver's head. And basically this is your jumper cables between your coach battery and your truck battery. If one of them goes dead and you need to start the truck, you can press and hold the emergency start while cranking on the engine and it will fire up. I also typically will have an emergency jump pack in here that's charged up and ready to go in case you run out of both batteries. Under normal circumstances that should not happen, but weird things happen. Other than that, on the radio here we do have a audio adapter so that you can plug in and select aux right here to play music through your phone. And I think that's everything in the cab area that I would like to show you. So let us move on here. We'll go around to the inside here. And we'll start with your step. This has a manual step on it. So you have to pull that out so that you can use it. And you can open your door. Then you've got two doors here. You've got your screen door that you can separate. And just use your screen door. You'll of course want to make sure this is shut so the mosquitoes don't get in. And then in order to open that back up, you just use this lever here. And when you close it, you make sure it's attached to there, and that'll keep this latch open so that way you can open both doors at once. On the inside here, you have a porch light switch on and off. Controls the light from right here. You have your main battery on-off switch. I have never had a reason to turn these off. I always leave them in the on position. But if you're worried that you left something on, you can switch it off. But keep in mind that'll also shut off your refrigerator if you're not plugged into electricity. Right here is the electric step button. This used to have an electric step, but it was damaged very frequently, so we replaced it with a manual one. So this switch does nothing now. I'm gonna take you to the back of the camper here to show you the main control panel area, which is located next to the bed. Got mixed feelings on its location, but for now we'll go with it. You'll see if you press the test button here, it'll light up the display saying that your 2/3 battery, full on propane, full on fresh, gray and black are empty. That's probably pretty accurate right now. Your water pump switch is right here. I always leave that in the on position when it's being rented. If you hear the pump running and you're not using the water, it tells me that there's a leak somewhere and that I need to try to find it. Your water heater switch right here, when you turn it on, you see the red light there that says pilot out? That'll come on initially until it automatically lights itself, and then that'll shut off. It can take up to 30 seconds typically, so we'll just give it a moment here. There you go. Now the hot water heater is lit, and in about 15 minutes you will have hot water. That does run on propane. Your generator control is right here. Press and hold start to start. There you go, it fired up. You can see how many hours are on the generator right now. And if you look over here at the microwave, you'll see that it's still turned off, even though the generator is running. This is normal. It takes a moment or two for the automatic switch to kick over and turn on the microwave. So we're just gonna wait here and watch it so you have an idea of how long that takes. There you go. It clicked. It's now turned on. Your camper now has 120 volt power. This will also charge the battery. Being plugged in at a campground will charge the battery, and driving the motorhome itself will charge the battery. It's most efficient when you're driving the motorhome to charge it. Generator's the second most efficient. Being plugged into a power cord is the least efficient way of recharging the battery. The batteries, in order to test them accurately, you have to have everything turned off, and then you press and hold the test button here. And when that gets down to the yellow here, the 1/3, that's when you really want to start recharging it. The batteries are not designed to go fully empty. That actually damages the batteries, and unfortunately I have to replace quite a few batteries every year. So if you could keep an eye on that, that's why I offer unlimited generator use, is to prevent them from being damaged. Your AC unit is located right here in the ceiling, but the controls for that are over here on the main control panel area, right here. You have cool, off, and furnace. So today it's almost 80 degrees outside. You'd want to go up to cool. You can hear that turn on already. You can set your temperature down to, 65 is typically pretty nice. And your AC unit is now running. You also have your high-low fan controls and your automatic control on the fan. So those are the controls for you. If you want to go down to the furnace, if it's in the later part of the season, you can click it down to furnace, set your temperature up to 70 or wherever you like it, and the furnace will automatically kick on and heat up the camper. Your slide-out controls are located right here. You have up for in and down for out. It doesn't really tell you any of the requirements here, but if you were to just try using this right now, nothing happens, okay? In order for this slide out to work, you have to have the parking brake set. So I'll come back up to the driver's seat here and press the parking brake. And I believe on this particular model, you also have to have the engine running. So we'll go ahead and we'll fire that guy up. And yeah, you can see we have the brake light on because our parking light's on. So when you take off and see that, make sure you disengage the parking brake, please. All right, so we'll come back over here to the slide out control. And we press it and you can see that it's all sliding out. This will stop when it's happy. There it is. It stopped, it's good. It's out. So now you have a little bit more room inside the camper. I like this slide out because you don't have to use it, but when you do, it just makes it bigger. So there's that. Let's see. Yes, yeah, we got our little armchair here. There's levers underneath that to kind of control which position that's in. It helps if you put the passenger seat leaned forward so it can actually rotate without binding up against it. You have a TV right here with your DVD player, and I believe there's another one behind the cabinet here. I believe this one actually runs on 12 volts, the TV itself, but not the DVD players. So, and essentially, in order for this to work, the generator has to be on or you have to be plugged in. That goes for the air conditioning, the microwave, and any of the 120 volt outlets right here. Those will also need to be plugged in or generator running for those to function. Let's see, the table bed here. You have a release lever right here. You just flip that over like that. And then I can't really do this one-handed, but you just push the table down and it, with these in the up position, and it'll sit right on these blocks here and allow you to make a bed out of it. In order to lock the table back in position, you just flip the lever back over like that, and it will lock and stay in the upright position while you want to use it as a table. Cab over bed's pretty straightforward. This guy here has a board inside of it. Turn that around the right way here. And it just sits right there. And you've got a nice 8-foot long bed right there. So it's kind of a nice thing if you're too tall and find the other stuff uncomfortable. Sink is a regular sink, functions like a regular sink, nothing fancy there. Inside here you'll have your display charts that'll give you information on your tank capacities and everything like that, for those of you that have questions about that. And we'll pause here for just a moment. You can see the camper model numbers, and you can see the tank sizes and everything here. So, but inside here you'll find your cups, bowls, plates, toaster, teapot. Should mention that we do not offer coffee pots. People were leaving them on the countertops and driving off with them and spilling stuff and blaming it on me, so I stopped supplying them. This drawer here has your lighter in it, some hand sanitizer, some soap, and a scrub brush. And that's just for taking care of the stuff that you need to take care of in here. Down below we got a fire extinguisher sitting down inside here, and actually this trash can is actually supposed to be underneath here as well, so we'll just put that back where it belongs. Inside here you've got your utensils, a couple oven mitts, and your miscellaneous cookware and everything else you need down there. With this stove, there is no striker. There is no automatic ignition on this. So that is why we provide these lighters for you. You simply set it to where you want it, and you light it. Pretty straightforward. For those of you that are unfamiliar with using pilot lights, the oven does have a pilot light. To use that, you have to set it to pilot and press and hold this in, and while you're holding that in, you have to open up this here. See if I can set my phone up here where you can see what I'm doing. So while pressing that button, you take your lighter, depth perception ain't any good here. There we go. And you hold it until you get that blue flame there. Once you hold it down there, you count to about 10, and you can release the pilot button, and the pilot light will stay on. And then you can set your temperature that you would like. And as you do so, the rest of that will light up and function properly. When you're done with the oven, it is important that you turn this completely off. Do not leave the pilot light running. That will cause a potential for that to blow out, cause a propane leak. Fortunately, there is a propane leak detector located right here. Propane's heavy, so it goes down to the bottom of the floor, and it'll set this guy off, and it'll be really obnoxious. There is a reset button on this guy right here. Sorry, that you can press and hold. Just realized my screw came out of here. I gotta put that guy back in. So yeah, there it is. Thing to note, if you run the battery low, this thing will go off. So if it does go off and you don't smell anything, check the battery level. This also shuts the propane off, by the way. Something to keep in mind. Down here, you have your electrical panel. You can pop that off. You can see all your fuses here and all your circuit breakers here. I've never had any of these go bad. If you have something that's not working, please call me first before working on this. You can check your electrical panel here. This is all for the 120 volt stuff. These do trip periodically. A lot of times it's the campground's fault on their side. But you'll see them kind of in a half in between stage like that, and you have to actually forcibly put them in the off position and then go back to the on position. So there's that guy there. These vents here, that's where your furnace outlets are. There's one here by the bed. You'll have one inside here in the bathroom to keep your bathroom nice and warm. Little tip, in the wintertime, if you leave your bathroom door open, you get more heat into the camper. You also have one here by the stove. On that note, we are here in the bathroom. Your toilet does have instructions on how to use it right here, but just to show you anyway, this lever right here, if you hold it just a little bit, the water will come out. You can set your toilet level however you like it. You do always want to make sure there's some water left over in here when you flush, and there automatically should be. This keeps the odor in the toilet tank in the tank and not allowing it into the camper. To flush, you hold it all the way open and it flushes. And as you can see, it retains water, which is what you want. We do have a sky vent in here with a fan that you can turn on. The crank for this guy is right here. You can open that up. And then when you're taking a shower and it's hot in here and steamy, you can vent all that out. Two things when you take off. If you leave this open, one, this lid will disappear. They are not designed to be ran with them open. And that's, you know, anywhere from like $40 to $100 to replace if I pay somebody to replace them. But also, with these open, it causes suction. The toilet's vented, which means the suction will come through the toilet tank, which means it'll bring all that nasty odor inside the camper. So you definitely do not want to travel with these open. We do have some RV toilet paper supplied in these motorhomes. If you can find RV toilet paper, please use it. It prevents the tanks from clogging up and helps keep the sensors accurate. If you cannot find RV toilet paper, use Septic Safe, please. Inside your shower here, this one's got a little foot basin, which is kind of nice. It's got an accordion style shower curtain. Regular on-off controls down here. And then you also have a on-off pause switch on your actual shower head right here to help conserve water. So that's how those guys work. That's everything in the bathroom there. You have your bathroom sink outside here. Works like a regular sink. There's a plug inside of there. You got your on-off controls right there. This compartment right here is a linen closet. The floor is not very sturdy. It's a very weak floor. It's not designed to hold weight, so even though it's tempting to put your big suitcase inside there, it typically won't end well. So only lightweight stuff in here, please. Inside here is where we have your pots and your pans. Your refrigerator controls here. It's currently in the on position, set for auto. Right now the generator is running, so it's on electricity. However, if I shut the generator off, it will switch back to running on propane. So I typically just leave them in the auto position. If this check light lights up, it means that there's an issue, and you should immediately try rebooting your fridge. If the check light comes back, you should make sure that your propane is turned on and full. If it still has issues, try running the generator. If the check light goes off and works fine on the generator, that tells me that there's an issue with the propane. That hasn't really happened, but just running it through it in case something does happen. With your fridge, you have your lock controls right here. You press and hold them, and you open them. And you have your freezer compartment up top here. Nice big freezer compartment. Down inside here, same deal. Press the button, open up, and you've got your refrigerator space inside here. Looks like I need to get another door compartment here. I got one inside the building I'll put in so we can have proper amount of drawers in here. It's a common break item. These are plastic. Got to be gentle with them. They break frequently. They're about $45 a piece. Another thing I should mention here is the drip tray. A lot of people pull this out because it's in the way, but this is designed to catch the moisture coming off of this cooling fins here, which it will happen. It's condensation, that's normal. And then it's supposed to drip inside here and go through that hole there, go out this little hole right here, and that goes to the outside compartment that I told you would leak water every now and then. These trays are also about $45. And yeah, if you pull them out, you'll wind up having wet food. So nobody really likes having wet food. So something to keep in mind with the refrigerator. Let's see. I think that's about everything I could think of sharing with you in this video. If after watching this video you have further questions, feel free to contact me anytime to ask. You'll notice you have a cigarette lighter adapter there. You can plug a USB adapter in there to charge your phone at night. It does run on the battery. And yeah, that's about everything here. So feel free to contact me if you have any questions after watching this video, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you. Bye.